Alright, today's video is going to be a little bit different. Obviously, this is not teamfight tactics, but I feel like I had to take a day break from that game. I was going to voice some of my opinions on basically the state of how that game was, but I thought I'd do it in a pretty fun way. So I'm playing Merge Tactics. This is like the Clash Royale version of teamfight tactics. And honestly, it's pretty fun. And it gives me like really old TFT vibes because it's really nice. It's really nice how there's no items, and then it's just like straight comp building, which is pretty interesting. And comp building is something that I've been thinking of a lot, especially like playing TFT. How a lot of the comp building is usually for end game, and there's no real like early or mid game in a lot of games. And you know, if you get a win streak opener, then you win streak, and a lot of the times you don't really feel contested for win streak because mid streaking feels so awful when the meta is, oh, I need to force X or Y comp to go top 2, and like how the other comps are just not allowed to win. And then also, I have a lot of gripes with things like fruit tailoring and tailoring in general. I mean, the controversy with like augments being tailorable when they're just not supposed to be tailorable. Like, I don't understand how that makes it into the game. And then after that, it gets shadow fixed, and then it makes its way back into the game. Like, how does that make any sense? Especially with how strong something like tailoring can be in TFT, and how much augments actually skew the game. So like, the thing is, it is just so difficult from like, I don't know, perspective of just playing TFT, right? If you want to be competitive in that game, you have to learn all these very niche, nuanced mechanics that like you shouldn't need to learn, in my opinion. Like, I shouldn't need 3 to 4 different extra websites to learn what's going on in a game. You know what I mean? Like, I just picked this game up. I mean, obviously, I play some TFT, and TFT has like a lot of similarities to this, and this is just like set 1 TFT pretty much. And like that, I mean, that's how I play it as well. I just play it like set 1. I don't know what's going on. I just build a comp. I've watched like one video on this game, and it's pretty fun, you know? And that's something that TFT is like slowly losing for me, is how much fun is getting sucked out of the game. Not necessarily just from playing competitive, but from like, okay, also that competitive format is some of the most like, I don't know how they just let that fly as well. Like, the thing is, with a lot of competitive games, there's people that have played competitive, people that have like, and then that can set up tournaments really well. And you know maybe Rally Cry isn't known for making the best tournaments, right? Like that happens. Also, this is a very unfortunate scenario. Hopefully I can kill something. But so Rally Cry is not necessarily known for making the best tournaments, and you know what? That's okay. But like, there's no way this format, especially like, it should be quality checked, right? Like, is there no way to quality check a tournament, or like have somebody look over it and be like, hey, like, this format will so obviously not work with X or Y amount of people, because I'm pretty sure we all knew it wouldn't work with X or Y amount of people. And since there was 1,000 people playing and you're just allowed to restart and you don't just like get one chance, that's not competitive. Like, how is that competitive at all? How does that make like any sense? And then, I don't know, there's just so many things wrong with what's been going on with the game, and it's just made me lose a lot of what makes TFT fun, which is like innovation, creativity, playing the mid game, trying to understand how to navigate the mid game, especially. I feel like that's some of the most fun I've ever had playing that game. Trying to figure out the mid game is literally some of the hardest like maneuvering I have to do. Because if you can't play mid game, you're probably just going to lose out anyway, right? And if you're starting from a lose streak, then well, you lose out and you lose the game, right? If you're starting from a win streak, well, maybe you have a small chance. Maybe there's something you can do. But just finding like a serviceable board, and then, you know, not having to pivot into strictly the verticals, for example. And you know what? Verticals are pretty fun. I'll admit it. Verticals are pretty fun. And regardless of verticals being fun, I don't want to have to play vertical every single game. Like, is that really the design choice that you want to be a part of? Like, let's say Yumi's like really broken one patch. There's 3 people playing Yumi. I play the second most broken comp and still lose to Yumi. I guess this patch, like, Star Guardian is probably one of the only comps that can win. But the reason it can win, by the way, is tailoring for the best defense on Poppy while building some of the most garbage items. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how is it? I don't want to build those items every single game. I don't want to look at my items and be like, oh yeah, this is what I want. This is what I want right now, and I'm just gonna build like a Sterix on some random unit, and then I'll figure it out later. I feel like that is just so frustrating to me, and you know, maybe that's just me. I feel like, and I also feel like that's not very fun, because okay, I mean, also the matchmaking in this game is just so ridiculously unfair. Because what happens here is, okay, I mean, it's fine. The matchmaking in this game is like similar to like starting TFT as well. Starting TFT, some of the matchmaking is just like completely broken. And you know what? I mean, that's fine. I'm not really too worried. I'm just playing this for fun. But, I mean, just after years, like so many years of being apart, I guess, of learning, of trying to learn basically what's going on in the game in TFT. It's like, is it even like worth it? You know what I mean? At this point, I'm here thinking, dang, is it even worth it to learn a lot of these mechanics? Because, well, one, they're gonna get patched out, right? Like, why am I? Wait, what did I just sell? Why am I practicing something that's gonna get patched out? How does that make any sense? It's like, and then it's just not. It's not satisfying. It's not repeatable. You can't learn a lot of things, or you can learn a lot of things, but the learning is not like, how do I say this? It's not repeatable. Like, you can't take it to the next set. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, well, that interaction works this way. And then, you know, fundamentally, it's not well designed at all. You know? And I think that's what's really frustrating me. How poorly designed the game feels. Because it's not even like the game's that poorly designed. It's fun. It's cool. There's a lot of things that happen in the game that I think can really be exciting. But a lot of the excitement in the game gets reduced by how much random crap there is. And the random crap, I mean, fruits are pretty cool. You can play units different ways because of the fruits, and all the units can, like, it's viable to play them in different ways as well. But like, I don't know. There's just not very much. It's not very viable. I'm gonna be honest. I kind of lied when I said it's viable to play them in different ways. That's just not how it works. Okay, I just tried something random this game and it didn't pan out the way I wanted it to. Oh, maybe I should have played 4 Assassin. But regardless of all that, like, sometimes you just need to take a break. And I don't want to learn tailoring where I have to go. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to pull up the website right now. Okay, let me just kind of show you how ridiculous some of this is. Okay. Here we go. Here, where is this? Where's power-ups? And then also, look, I mean, am I really sitting here trying to figure this out, man? Like, just look. I have to read all of this if I want to be competitive, because all the other people are doing this. How does this? It's not fun. I have to do this mid game. Look what I have to do mid game. This. Oh, what's the best with what's the best item on Kog'Maw with Nashers? And then I do this. Like, and then I can also just do this. Really? I can't figure this out by playing the game? I have to look at all these stats? Like, this is not fun. This is not fun at all. And like, I mean, I don't even know how to read some of these stats. And then, it's not the way I want to learn the game, you know? I want to learn the game by being able to play and experience, and if I just don't have enough time, that's one thing. But if I'm sitting here doing this, stage 4, Janna, level 6, traits off. What does that even mean? It's weird. What does that even mean? Primary on 2. I want to hit veteran. Primary on 1. What does that mean? How do I... And then I have to tailor it? Just so I have a chance at hitting something that I want? Secondary on 3. So I need to roll on Xayah for a secondary power-up on 3. And then that tailors my Janna to have slightly higher odds at hitting veteran. Because if I don't hit veteran, I can't play the game. How does that make any sense? Really? That's what I have to do to play this game? Jinx? If I'm not doing this, I'm just operating at a complete disadvantage. Right? And then, like this. Oh, I have to roll a primary on any of these units. And then turn traits off by not putting Star Sailor in, so I can have a higher chance at getting Gather Force. And not only that, I also have to do it on Poppy. And I also have to do this in one turn. Isn't that kind of ridiculous? Okay, I mean, doing this all in one turn is like the professional aspect of this game. And you know what? That's interesting. That's a different topic, right? But then, all the lines into Star Guardian are just, like, I have to look up a lot of things, man. Like, do I really have to sit here and look up every single Crystal Gambit cash out? Just so I'm prepared for what's about to happen to me. Do I have to figure out I have to figure all of this out. And then also, I can click this care package, right? And when I click care package, I have to, like, I'm playing a reroll comp, right? And I click care package. I was like, okay, maybe I want the dupes. I don't hit the dupes. Oh, I low rolled. Oops. My bad. I hit the gold, but the gold doesn't help me hit. And then it's like, dude, it's just too much. I think it's just way too much. And it's not. What happened to me this game? I had a 400 cash out in tournament, right? I thought I was gonna get 40 gold or some amount of gold with my cash out, and I didn't know you could just get no gold. I thought most cash outs gave you gold, and you know what? My fault. I didn't know the interaction. because I'm used to getting gold and then some other things, or like gold in the form of units as well. I got the item and anvil, and then I was just supposed to roll. I didn't know that. I also could have lost the game by getting Leona Yumi 2 and not being able to pivot my board into Prodigy. And then also, like, these items are not good enough on these 2 units. Like, because if you, like, oh my gosh. How is this Yumi 2 Dawn Core? 4.25. Yumi 2 without Dawn Core. 3.9. Like, what? Really? Is that... But... And then also, like, looking at the stats and then calling something with a 4.25 trash? Isn't that also, like, kind of weird, too? Oh, I didn't even filter it properly. This is with craftable items. So I can average a 4. Cashing out 400 Crystal Gambit. Really? This is like a lose streak. Okay, I will say, Crystal Gambit was pretty balanced last patch. Because it was actually hard to hit a lot of these. This patch, you win streak into Crystal Gambit, which, you know what, not the most intuitive mechanic. But like just reading the patch notes, actually, here we go. When you read the patch notes, you're like, oh, there's some stuff that will just very, very obviously be extremely broken. You know? Like, and then there's good changes too. Random artifact, perfect. 1.65 to 2x? Where is it? I have too many tabs open, so I closed the little buddy bot tab. And it's just... 2? 60 per turn, 180 guaranteed, plus the start of what your... Plus the start of your Crystal Gambit, like, loss streak. Or you win 3 times and you have, like, 40. So you're guaranteed over 210. Which means you're very likely hitting 250, because you're going to kill units since you are win streaking. And you know what? Maybe that's skill. But honestly, that is just so crazy. And then, like, this was insane. This was genuinely insane. Double RE buffs when Ludens exists. Okay, I don't even have the correct filters on this. But this, at the start, look. A 2.34. A 45% chance to win the game. With Sniper's Focus, you auto-win. A 62% chance to win. You could have told me this before the patch came out. Like, we saw the same thing, right? Isn't that just so crazy that that's allowed? And, you know, all of these, I think Monster Trainer, it took a few weeks for them to, like, understand it. But Monster Trainer's made pretty well. Hey, I mean, all the aesthetics in this game are also pretty fun. You know what? I'm not even mad that I call these, like, decent. I call these fun to watch. And also, Yumi's pretty fun to watch, too. But it's like, you take out Yumi for an entire patch. Then you patch her back in. Like, you're essentially removing units, but then you don't remove the ability for you to get them in shop. So, every single time you roll your shop, it feels like you're rolling down three slots. Let's see, you find 2 Yumis and an Ashe. What does Ashe average? A 5.1. Ash 2 averages a 4.8. You just killed the unit. That's a dead shop slot. A completely dead shop slot. How does that make any sense? You know what I mean? And then, like, you know what? Honestly, the augment system is pretty good. And maybe taking stats away from augments, like, is good too. I was like, I was pretty on the side of maybe stats need to be gone from augments, right? But I'm also one of the worst stat pickers, or like, augment pickers in the game. So, like, you know what? Having the guide helped me a lot. So I was a little sad when it went away, I'll be honest. But it is just, it's so crazy to me. It is just so genuinely insane to me that even with, like, because you know Riot has all the stats, right? Even with all the stats, like, is it really, like, I feel like all the augments are there's so many augments that are just straight up not clickable. You know? Like, how is it possible to let the game have that many completely unclickable augments? Like, you think I can click another one on 2-1 if I'm not playing Akali? You think I can click... Honestly, another one in general is just awful. Do you think I can click... like, half of the prismatics late game? And you know what? There's a lot of them tailored for your board. And then all the circlets just give you a unit and a crest. You're telling me I can get a unit and a crest compared to something like Max Cap playing Kog'Maw or Yasuo playing half of... you're telling me I can get Mess Hall. Mess Hall is just like... That's not a clickable augment. I can't be happy clicking Mess Hall. I just feel sad. I just feel extremely sad clicking Mess Hall. I was like, you're telling me I have to click Mess Hall to play the game? And then, you know, maybe when duelists were fine, like, it's not that bad in Ashe. And then, I don't know. I'm not gonna go crazy and, like, you know, want to make a doc and just flame TFT in general, because TFT it's a great game. I have a lot of fun playing the game, and I think the concept of it is incredible. I think the game itself has been very fun for me for very many years, and I don't want to sit here and just say, like, dunk on it. But there really had to be something that there's something that needs to be changed. There's no way, not just the balancing, but all of the hidden mechanics within the game. Maybe there just needs to be more public data about it. And, you know, that means I'm going to have to study it. And you know what? If I want to be competitive, well, I need to study. And that's fine. But it's like, I can just hop on merge tactics. And look, I don't need to think that much. But I can learn the game through experience. And that's something I value so high when I play these types of games. I think learning through the experience of playing is so much more valuable than sitting there looking at stats and, hey, this is just so extremely egregiously broken. Make sure you play this. Make sure you do this. Just because the stats say you should do it. And hey, I mean, I'm probably gonna go look at some stats on merge tactics if I want to pursue this a little bit more. But when I can't, like, just learn it from playing the game, like, what's the point? I would like to learn your game by playing it. I would not like to learn your game from, I don't know. I feel like that last point was not good. My last point didn't make any sense, and I agree. But man, is it just not? It's just not fun. It's not fun for games to just not be rewarding for playing it. I feel like I got worse playing TFT the last few days before the tournament. Just from playing it. Not from like... I just got way worse from playing it. If I'm like... Really? I could have just sat there, studied instead of playing, and probably just got better, to be honest. Like, I just got so much worse sitting there playing the game, and like, you know, I VOD review my own games, and then periodically reviewing my games. Maybe I should have reviewed them better, or reviewed them with more knowledge of how to tailor, of how to do all this other stuff. But like, having to learn something as unintuitive as tailoring is not fun at all. And again, you can say that's like a gripe with being a quote-unquote competitive player. And you know, you have to learn all the nuanced mechanics to be a professional. But there's just too many nuanced mechanics to learn. There's just way too many. And there's just too many. I don't want to learn that many different mechanics. I'll be honest. And that's just me. I guess that's just me being stubborn. Or not putting in enough effort. But some days, like, I think, can it really not be enough effort when not only do I play a game every single day, before the tournament, for about a week, I was just straight up playing some ungodly hours. Just putting an ungodly amount of hours into the game. And you know what? It wasn't worth it. I'll be completely honest. It was not worth it at all. I just got like way worse. Way worse. Playing the game. And then, I don't know. I didn't have like the supplemental learning of learning how to tailor, learning how to basically, okay, I'm not going to say cheat. I'm not going to go that far. But honestly, like, it really did feel like I was playing against someone that's just cheating. You know? It really felt like I didn't have any knowledge compared to the next player. And compared to people playing in... I was playing at like such a massive disadvantage. Like, really? How do I keep up? How am I supposed to be a part of getting the advantage that everybody else has on me? I don't know. I had no clue. And I had no clue about so many of the different interactions in the game as well. While playing the game. Religiously. While religiously playing the game. I had no idea about half the interactions that other people were talking about, other people understood. And I don't know if that's just like a public information thing, or just me not, I guess, hanging with the right crowd. The right crowd just being a bunch of TFT players. And like, there's too many extra things. And like, okay, can anybody read Seraphine's ability and tell me what it does? No, not a single human being can read it and tell you what it does. There's just no way. How is that like? How does that make any sense? The power of friendship makes her spell stronger. What? Are you joking me? I'm supposed to and then the power of friendship gives you 6 different stats that it scales with. Really. But then also a lot of that is just nuanced by the fact that a lot of those interactions and a lot of those stats on the Seraphine are just like not even that important. You slap a JG on her and she crits, and you actually don't have to worry about any of what you read. And I also think that is insane. That is completely insane. That's even worse, low key. I read all of that for all of it to just like not matter. I don't know. I feel like that last point is definitely rambly. But I'm also just like angry at how a lot of my time was spent, I guess. And you know, also to be fair, I don't have to be competitive in it. But I also am challenger, or I guess I was challenger in the game. And honestly, it's pretty fun to be competitive. It just feels impossible. Which is not very fun. Because I'm talking about fun a lot too. Fun is also like pretty subjective, but you know, very frustrating experience that I've had. And I don't really want to be calling my like competitive, I guess I'll say journey, frustrating. That's my best adjective for competition, is frustrating. That's not very good. But then also I can just play this mobile game. This is pretty fun. There's probably a way for me to outcap this guy. But I mean, I don't have no idea. I'm seeing if I can hit a Golden Knight 3-star. It's probably not correct. Or like a prince. I need one prince. Does he know that? He might be sucking up all the princes. I think he is. Well played to him. Because the unit pool in this game is like actually griefable. Also just 2-star the princess. Also another thing in the Emerge Tactics is like the level of your card actually matters. I'm playing against people that have been playing like Clash of Clans or Clash Royale for a minute. And all their cards are like maxed. So honestly, if I'm able to oh, a prince. Okay, there we go. Wait. How do I do this? 6 noble? No juggernaut. I probably could have 3-starred my Golden Knight by now, rolling this much gold. But also I wonder what 6 noble even does. This is good. 45. Oh, my Golden Knight's not gonna proc. It's worse. I got weaker. And you know what? Hey, it's fine that I learned that I got weaker. Dropping all the extra synergies made me weaker. And I learned through experience. And I guess that's what I really do value a lot. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. This is kind of just like a podcast of me complaining. But also, I'm probably just going to play another... I'll finish out the year playing a single game of TFT Everyday. Also, I might just drop a video about Merge Tactics. And everything good about it. And how I'm comparing like my experience playing Merge Tactics to TFT. Especially since I was basically... I was like 1300 LP peak in TFT. I guess that doesn't really help my case for liking Merge Tactics, but yeah. is my opinion. And if you like or don't like the opinion, I just want to really throw it out there. Because this last TFT tournament as well, oh my god, there has been so many like very crazy things that happened. Especially that one guy FFing versus the Crystal Gambit guy that was about to cash out, and he was also in like a 6-man lobby. Insanity. Complete insanity. How is that? It's so crazy. I don't know, man. Also, I'm just so frustrated that climbing to 800, 900 LP and just it didn't even matter because the cup was completely open. And if I wanted to make the other, like the actual cup snapshot, I had to be 1300 LP, top 10. That's also just, I don't know. It did not feel very good to not be able to enter like enter a tier 2 tournament as an 880 ranked top 100 challenger player, and I just couldn't play in a tournament. Isn't that crazy? I don't know. Well, thanks for listening to me ramble. Get out of here. Have fun. GG's.